Moving to Brooklyn was supposed to be our fresh start. But House 4B had a different plan. It started at 3:13 a.m. The intercom screamed, a sharp, mechanical cry that cut through the silence. I hit the button, expecting a late-night delivery or a drunk neighbor. Nothing but static. Then I remembered. The landlord told us the system was dead. No wires, no power. So who or what was pressing the button from the other side of the void? 3:13 a.m. The intercom didn't scream this time. It wetly chewed, a sound of grinding teeth and tearing flesh. I looked through the peephole, praying for a prankster, but all I saw was a trail of stagnant black water seeping from under the sealed door of apartment 4C. "Who's there?" I whispered, my heart hammering against my ribs. The chewing stopped. Then a voice scraped against the metal of the intercom, thin and dry like dead leaves. "I left my keys inside. Please let me in." But the voice didn't come from the speaker. It came from the peephole. Someone was inches from my eye, breathing through the wood, waiting for me to turn the lock. We thought the ground floor would be safer. We were wrong. 4 a.m. The bell screamed again. I swung the door open, ready for a fight, but only the cold basement air greeted me. Then Chloe screamed. There, on our rug, were wet, black footprints. But they didn't come from the hallway. They started in our bathroom, circled our bed while we slept, and stopped right behind my heels. I looked down at the puddle left by the last step. It wasn't water. It was a window. And from the bottom of that black liquid, a woman with gray rotting skin was looking back at me, her smile wider than any human's. Marcus didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in cold, hard facts. Until 3:13 a.m., the intercom didn't just ring, it screamed. When we ran to the door, the hallway was a desert of silence. But when we turned back, Marcus's seat was soaked. A black foul puddle was growing on the fabric. He told us he felt a hand, a wet, freezing hand, stroke his neck. And in the reflection of that puddle, he saw her. The woman in the red dress. Her head was snapped at a 90-degree angle, her neck bones jutting out like broken white teeth. Marcus didn't say goodbye. He just ran, because he saw what was standing behind him in the water, even when the room was empty. The intercom stayed silent, but the air didn't. 1:11 a.m. A wet, labored breath brushed against Chloe's ear. We tore the door open, desperate to catch a human, a prankster, anything we could fight. But the hallway was a tomb of yellow light and peeling wallpaper. That's when we saw the puddle. It didn't reflect the ceiling. It reflected her. A woman in a blood-red dress, her head snapped at a jagged 90-degree angle, white bone jutting through gray skin. Real blood began to drip onto the floor from thin air. Then, we heard it. The sickening crack of her vertebrae as she forced her head upright in the reflection. She didn't run at us. She lunged through the water. The locks didn't matter. The walls were crying. 3:13 a.m. The intercom screamed a single endless note of agony. Black water didn't just leak. It bled from the electrical sockets, smelling of salt and old graves. The wallpaper started to pulse, turning soft like waterlogged flesh. I tried to call for help, but the phone only screamed back with the sound of snapping bone. Then the lights died. In the pale glow of my screen, the floor was gone. It was just a sea of black ink. And from that ink, 100 hands, cold, gray, and hungry, reached up to drag us down into the dark. I found the truth in the yellowed pages of a 1974 newspaper. Her name was Mary Higgins. She lived in 4C, the apartment they sealed 50 years ago. She complained for weeks about the intercom, about the breathing, the scratching, the whispers. They ignored her until someone climbed through the pipes and snapped her neck like a dry twig. They stuffed her into the rooftop water tank. For 11 days, the neighbors drank, bathed, and lived off her death. The intercom isn't ringing for us. It's replaying her final scream for help. And now, the water on our floor is starting to boil with the stench of 50 years of rot. The static died, replaced by something far worse: laughter. It was the sound of a lung filling with swamp water. Gurgle, ha ha, gurgle. It echoed from the drains, the pipes, and the very glass of our mirrors. Mary Higgins wasn't a victim anymore. She was a predator. Her gray, waterlogged hands tore through our hardwood floor like it was wet cardboard. I looked at the mirror, and the glass didn't reflect us. It birthed her. She crawled out, half flesh, half reflection, her snapped neck spinning like a broken toy. She whispered a truth that chilled my marrow. 11 days. You all drank me for 11 days. We weren't just living in her house. We were living on her remains. The living room dissolved into iron and rust. We weren't in Brooklyn anymore. We were trapped in 1974, inside the very water tank where she died. The air was gone, replaced by the metallic taste of old blood and stagnant rain. Mary was there, floating beside us, her snapped neck swaying like a weed in the current. She didn't just want us dead. She wanted us to feel the 11 days of silence she endured. Her freezing hands clamped onto our shoulders, pushing us deeper into the black. The intercom rang inside my skull, a deafening siren of her pain. No one listened. She gurgled. Now you'll never stop hearing me. The sun rose over Brooklyn, but the light felt cold. I thought we survived. I thought the nightmare drowned in the 74 tank. But then I saw the intercom, repairing itself, breathing with a life of its own. The police on the line asked me a question that stopped my heart. I looked at the coffee on the table. In that tiny puddle of black liquid, I didn't see my wife. I saw the red dress. I saw the broken neck. And when Chloe turned around, I heard the snap, the sound of 50 years of silence finally breaking. Mary didn't want to be heard. She wanted to be warned. And now the intercom will never stop ringing.